Hello, and welcome to another episode of Broadcast Gaming Talk. This is the 9th part of my reading of Gameinformer's Pokemon Sword and Shield article, and so let's jump into it. Taking it to the max. While Dynamax's inspiration was a direct result of Omori's understanding of UK myths, the inclusion of Pokemon on this scale simply wasn't possible in a satisfactory way on handheld devices. Game Freak wanted to use the higher resolution of the Switch and the larger screens of televisions to demonstrate a strong sense of scale. Not only do the enormous Pokemon look bigger than ever before, but the small Pokemon on the roster also look appropriately small. This is further on display when players use Dynamax to make their Pokemon grow to unprecedented sizes. Seeing a Dynamax Pokemon next to a trainer on a big screen shows off the scale Game Freak hoped for. Omori says that this display would only be possible on a high-resolution platform like the Switch. On the 3DS, if you showed me some of the huge Pokemon, the limited resolution would probably make the player character be like a single pixel or something, he says with a chuckle. The concept of having Pokemon grow to become giants satisfied another goal the team going into its first all-new console Pokemon game. If you're playing on the TV, there's probably going to be other people in the house, like family or your parents, Omori says. You wanted to make sure what you were doing on the screen looked impressive, or something that makes it look like if the kid is playing it and the mom comes by like, wow, you're really doing something cool there. Kind of like the idea of it being a sport, for example. It's impressive to watch as a sport, and maybe the kid is like a really powerful sports player. Outside of the impressive visual sequences showcasing larger creatures and a colorful aura, Dynamax Pokemon also feature much more powerful attacks. Even the most useless Pokemon, like Magikarp, can suddenly become formidable through Dynamax. This mechanic replaces systems from the past, like X and Y's Mega Evolution and Sun and Moon's Z moves, as the powerful equalizer in battle. To take the new feature for a test drive, Game Freak held an internal tournament. The team came away confident that not only will competitive play embrace the Dynamax ability, but it will add an extra layer of strategy for players of all skill levels. You don't have to give the Pokemon an item, so you can trigger it whenever and create the element of suspense or keeping people on their toes, since they don't know when you're going to trigger it or what Pokemon you're going to use it for, Omori says. In Sun and Moon with the Z move, you had to give the Pokemon the Z crystal to trigger it. So if the effect of any item goes off, you know that Pokemon isn't holding a Z crystal, and you can feel at ease when plan your strategy around that. With Dynamax, it doesn't require an item, so you're never going to have that feeling of being at ease, since you don't know that this Pokemon isn't going to unleash this Dynamax power. But at the same time, it doesn't feel cheap. While some fans have expressed concern that the Dynamax mechanic might be overpowered in its ability to change the course of matches, by installing a 3-turn limit for the transformation, Game Freak thinks it has struck the right balance. For a long time we were going back and forth between 3 turns and 2 turns, Omori says. It sounds like a small difference, but it's a huge thing we had to work with the balance. Also, tweaking the strength of the moves, just working with the battle design staff to get the balance right. It took a very long time. In addition, if a trainer Dynamaxes a Pokemon, it tips off their opponents as to what's coming, allowing them to prepare for the approaching storm. Technically, you can switch out your Pokemon after you've Dynamaxed, or just defend, but since that's a waste of the Dynamax, the expectation is that you're going to attack to take advantage of that power, Omori says. That allows your opponent to read what you're going to do, so that gives a little bit of balance there. Dynamax is sure to play a massive role in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but it's not the only way Pokemon can grow exponentially during battle. Every Pokemon can use Dynamax to power up, but a certain subset can take the concept farther through a special variation called Gigantamax. Much like Dynamax, this causes the Pokemon to rapidly grow in size. However, it's not simply a power boost. In addition to visually changing the Gigantamax Pokemon beyond what Dynamax does, this new form grants different attributes. This means that for some Pokemon that have the ability to use both Gigantamax and Dynamax, the trainer must have the awareness to correctly determine which transformation to use for their current battle situation. These transformations are more than just gameplay mechanics in Sword and Shield. In fact, Professor Magnolia, the person who gave you your starter Pokemon at the beginning of the game, is specialized in researching the Dynamax phenomena in the Galar region. These transformations are sure to be centerpieces of not just the gameplay, but the narrative as well. The lore of the land is that Galar region has a sort of mysterious energy that can power up things and make them massive. We express that through the battle system. When they get bigger, they become stronger, Iwao says. How different are Sword and Shield? Pokemon games have traditionally released in pairs, with the titles featuring some different Pokemon and other small differences. For example, in Sun and Moon, the day and night cycles were reversed, after affecting certain items and encounters during different parts of the cycle. Pokemon Sword and Shield carry on the tradition of certain Pokemon being exclusive to each version, but based on which version you get, the gym leaders are also affected. According to director Shigeru Omori, the gyms are split into a system resembling major and minor sports leagues. There are 18 different types of gyms in the story, and depending on the version the gyms are in the minor league, which gyms are in the minor league and which gyms are in the major league are different, he says. For example, in Sword, the fighting type gym will be in the major league, but in Shield, the ghost type. The idea is that every year the Galar region is playing, and which gyms make it into the minor league versus the major league changes. And that's the end of part 9. That's all I have to say, so thanks for listening and goodbye.